The Jets have finally drafted a Super Bowl bound quarterback. Yes, that's right. Sam Darnold is heading to the Super Bowl. We've got AFC and NFC Championship reaction. Some way, somehow, Shedeur Sanders going to the Pro Bowl. And college sports is broken. How do we fix it? That's tonight's on Chat It Up Sports. Joseph, hit that theme music. What's up? Welcome to the show. Greg Larnard here alongside two of my best friends, Chase Green and Malcolm Harris. And behind the scenes, of course, Joseph Guthrie. Fellas, what's going on?
What up, baby? How you doing?
The dream, baby.
Yeah, it's good to be back here on a Monday. Our Super Bowl 60 is officially set. Both of my picks were dead wrong. Jared Stiddy up did not happen because Sean Payton apparently didn't realize that there was a snowstorm about to blow into Empower Field out there in Denver, Colorado. Decided not to take the points and came back to haunt him later in that game. Obviously, as we mentioned earlier in the intro, Sam Darnold defeats the Los Angeles Rams. Like, could we have just had, could we not do like the Seahawks and Patriots rematch? Could we just have the Rams and the Seahawks play again? Because those matchups this year, Miggy, were just incredibly epic every single time we got a chance to watch them this season.
Every single matchup was just cinema, man. I didn't want it to end. Honestly, I didn't want the AFC game. I'd rather just have a best-of-3 series between the Rams and the Seahawks. They were that good, bro.
Yeah, they were. And on the other side, on the AFC side, Chase, I'm sorry that that Amy Adams Strunk decided to side with the general manager that is no longer there with you guys in Tennessee and let Mike Vrabel go. And now Braves gets an opportunity of a lifetime to go coach where he played and had so much success with the Patriots. How are you feeling on this podcast Tuesday here when the show is dropping that Mike Vrabel now a Super Bowl coach and he's your former coach?
It fits the narrative here as a Titans fan right now. It just goes, you know. We just get that. Might as well just take another slap in the face. The two biggest guys we let go are going to possibly win back-to-back Super Bowls, and A.J. Brown and Mike Vrabel now. So I love Braves. I love Drake May as a Tar Heel fan. So this is all wrapping up to be a really nice win for just the individual love that I have for those guys. But it also is just comical to realize how much A, coaching matters in the NFL.
Yep.
And B, of course, we let go of that guy. And we have just taken such a far downhill, boys. I don't even know where to go from there. I don't even really know where to go because he was an awesome coach when we had him, and he learned more things, it sounds like, with the Browns. And yet we let him go for I don't even know what you want to call this right now. But Robert Saleh, please be good. That's all I ask.
Please, we're praying to the solid gods that he is able to learn some things from his previous time as a head coach. Again, you're in a bad spot there with the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, isn't able to kind of come back and be the savior that you want him to be in that second year. Hopefully he's able to, now since he was a defensive coordinator again with San Francisco, gets a little bit more comfortable. Okay, we've learned some things. Let's take what we've learned and let's apply it to the Titans. You hopefully have that quarterback situation figured out. Now you just have to kind of figure out everything else around him. There's, as you well know, Chase, there's a lot that needs to be figured out from a skill position standpoint, from an offensive line standpoint, definitely from a secondary standpoint, just really all levels. They've just got to get better. And hopefully Saleh can do some of the things that Braves did in terms of like just focusing a lot on that defense and then just being good enough offensively. I mean, you look at what Braves had there, with Ryan Tannehill made him viable. But at the same time, like you had Derrick Henry you could lean on. You also had A.J. Brown that you could lean on in the passing game as well. Like they don't have that there in Tennessee. It feels like it just needs to be almost like a total rebuild, hopefully around Cam Ward.
Hopefully. I hope so. This has really good storylines, don't you guys think? Like this this Super Bowl now has the variable aspect of it because he'd be the first player to win with as a coach and a player, so that'd be pretty impressive. And then this could be Sam Darnold's great. He could be the greatest redemption story in all of the NFL ever. I mean,
Ever.
this guy was a joke, right? Like seeing Ghost and Mono. We talked about it 1,500 times. But it's like hilarious. This guy could turn around now.
I want to
How
say
much?
he's on his. I'm sorry, bro.
No, I was just gonna ask, like, how much do we have to give credit, as much as I don't want to your boy KOC for helping the turnaround of Sam Darnold?
For sure. This is all KOC. This is, I think he gave him the confidence, and you got to think, what did he win? 15 games with KOC?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, guys, if I'm Minnesota, I'm pissed because you got Sam Darnold. He's only 28. You had a decade of what now looks like consistent quarterback play out of the window, and now Seattle has a luxury of having now what I think is a franchise quarterback, Sam Darnold.
Just funny to hear you say that.
Don't you think it's funny? Like, who has more FOMO in this case, the Jets or the Vikings, because of Sam?
That's a great question.
Mm.
I can really see it both ways. I'm gonna say the Vikings slightly, just because when they had him, he was good. It wasn't like when the Jets had him, he was just young, coming out of USC, turning the football over a lot. They really didn't know what they had, and I think Sam needed to kind of go some different places. You know, he was in a backup role in San Francisco. He was in a backup role and played a little bit there in Carolina, and then obviously was supposed to be a backup in Minnesota. Then 9 goes down and he gets an opportunity to start and gets to be with a great coach who's really good at working with quarterbacks. And he has a fantastic season, flubs in the playoffs, and then gets a big old contract out of it. So I'm going to say the Vikings because they had him when he was at his best. And they decided, we're going to go with the young McCarthy and see what he's got, because he was supposed to be the starter before you got here anyways. We're trusting in our draft, and we want to prove to ourselves and everybody else that we were right on J.J. McCarthy. This is where the ego and the pride gets in the way, right? Because you have a really good quarterback that's capable of doing things. And maybe if he'd actually done some things in the playoffs last year, he'd still be a Minnesota Viking, and they would have pushed back the McCarthy experience. But since you lose game 1 in the divisional round last year, you say, Sam can only get us so far. It was a nice season. Thank you for it. Good luck in Seattle. And so that's why I think Minnesota personally.
See, I'm going to go with the Jets because the capital investment up front, when you take a guy with the 3rd overall pick, is saying, hey, you are going to be a cornerstone for our franchise. We believe in you. We're giving you the keys to what it's an awful franchise, but city-wise, it's one of the best cities in the world. New York is amazing. Although it's technically not New York, it's New Jersey.
Shout out East Rutherford.
East Rutherford. Nah, man. I know the Jets are just like, geez, like we saw this guy just shit the bed, and now he is now one win away from being the first quarterback in the 2018 class over Josh Allen, over Lamar Jackson, over Baker Mayfield, over the illustrious Josh Rosen, to now be a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
My favorite thing about him also, which this surprised the hell out of me, he's the first USC quarterback to start in the Super Bowl.
That's nuts, bro. Think about all the greats that have come through, like from USC, not professionally, because they all seem to kind of fizzle out. But USC was the place to go when you wanted a quarterback. I mean, you got to think Matt Leinart was like the gold standard of what 2000s quarterbacking was, right?
Yeah.
Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, you got Matt Barkley. I mean, the 5-star, blonde-haired, prototypical guy. Mark Sanchez. I mean, Jackson Dart.
Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer. That's a fool, by the way.
You got your job.
I mean, the list is there. I mean, there's been a lineage of USC quarterbacks, and for Sam Darnold to be the first to go from USC is good for him, man. I want him to go win it. I really do.
I know you don't, Chase, because you're a big Drake May guy and you love North Carolina and I think you love Mike Vrabel still.
Dude, I'll be honest. I would love this for Sammy D. I think I would be happy either way. This is a nice little Super Bowl because I was explaining to Hannah what happened in the last Seattle versus New England championship, and she was like, "Why didn't they hand the ball off?" I was like, "The entire world asked the same damn question." It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. That was that long ago. Also, I forgot another one. Hud Radovich, quarterback at USC. So going down the list here, there's some good ones, man. John David Booty.
John David Booty, boy.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, this is a good Super Bowl for me to watch. I like both teams, but I guess I want Braves to get his because I want Amy to understand the hurt that we all feel. She needs to know that. And I think probably getting to the Super Bowl is enough. But if he wins one in his first year, it just adds to the comedy that is the Titans fan base.
Do you think that all Titan fans or Titan Nation kind of have that same view as you do? Or do you feel like a lot of them are on the other side where it's like, dang, like Vrabel was our coach. We don't want him to win. And do you think Titan Nation is rooting for Mike Vrabel and kind of is that same mindset where it's like, we want to stick it to Amy Adams Strunk?
I feel like from the Titans Twitter world that it's probably like 70-30, where there's 70% probably on my side. Like, we like Braves. But I also think there's like 30% of the world's like, dude, he was kind of a jackass. And it didn't work. Like, I mean, I also understand the circumstances at the time. It was like, well, I guess we got to let him go. Like, I don't know what you do. I mean, if she's going to be in charge and you got all these fighting back and forth, I guess you just do it. But it sucked. So I guess a lot of people are like, no, I don't want him to win because that just makes it even worse, makes me feel bad. But that's not my take. I see both sides, but I would say a lot of people are on my side.
So I was going to say, it's like, obviously a lot of people that especially around our age that grew up and older, that grew up with the Patriots always winning with Belichick and Brady and all of that, and all the success that they've had. I'd assume it's basically anybody who's a Patriots fan, and then maybe a small sector of the Titans fans that are going to be rooting for the Patriots. And then it feels like everybody else will probably be on Seattle and the redemption story of Sam Darnold and this incredible defense and Mike McDonald. And JSN is a really lovable like character and a wide receiver because he's not DK Metcalf. He's not 6'3" or whatever and 6'4" and incredibly built. Like he kind of looks like a normal looking dude. Like he's not overpowering as a wide receiver. He's not the biggest. He might be the fastest, but incredible hands. That one-handed catch towards the sideline yesterday was insane. It just seems like sort of more of the people's team are the Seattle Seahawks than the New England Patriots, especially like that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. Like I'm not rooting for the Patriots. I don't dislike Drake May or I don't dislike Mike Vrabel. I wouldn't be upset if Raves got one because I do believe he's an incredible coach being, in Tennessee and covering the Titans for as long as we did on ESPN Chattanooga. But I'm going to be rooting for the Seahawks in this one.
I think that what you just hit is really important. I think about Jackson Smith and Jigba, when we go back to his time at Ohio State, I mean, for this guy to fall out of the top 5, to me, looking back, is really almost like jaw-dropping. Like, I'm just like, how did this happen? And it's because of injury, but the body of work in that Rose Bowl performance is single-handedly one of the best games I've ever seen a receiver play. I mean, the guy had, 13 catches, over 300 yards. I mean, it looked like it was a video game, and it's starting to translate over. And I gave you guys a scenario earlier, but he's really starting to become like top 5 in the NFL. Like,
for sure. He 100% is now.
The days of Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, like that's done. Like that conversation, like is like JSN is now in the top 5. It's just wondering who else is in that is a big question.
I'd say he's top 3, honestly.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And I love Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, I'm not just gonna, Jamar Chase is up there.
No, this year has been unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I can put him top 3.
Chase?
It's the craziest, like the wide receiver position is the craziest revolving door of top 5s every year.
It is.
Like every year we find some other Ohio State or LSU guy, but keep doing it. Just keep going at it, fellas. Have fun. I guess. I don't know. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is fun. It's a good debate to have, and it's fun to be able to do those things. Let's talk a little bit about. I was going to start with the AFC matchup, but since we've already been talking about Sam Darnold and whatnot, let's stick in that game because that was the more exciting game. And I wanted to ask you this question, and Maggie, I'm gonna throw this one to you first because I know you've been on and off sort of the Matt Stafford train. I know you're just trying to defend your boy Matt Ryan, and they're kind of put up against each other where Matt Ryan didn't win a Super Bowl, Matt Stafford did win a Super Bowl. How do you believe that this game and him losing this game, losing out another chance to win a Super Bowl ring, get to another Super Bowl at the very least, he's going to win the MVP. We've already talked about that last week. How do you think him losing this game sort of affects his legacy in the grand scheme of things, if at all?
If you're a real historian of football and you look at this game wasn't on Matthew Stafford. I think Matt Stafford could have made one more throw, and that was to Ferguson in the back of the end zone, but I think it was a better play by the defender. If you're looking at history and just understanding, like this game, I mean, Matt Stafford did everything for this team to win. It's not his fault that the punt returner is. Did you guys see that, man? The punt returner just, whiffed. You know how crazy it has to be that you're asking your starting running back to go back and return punts and really just make sure you catch the football because you don't trust the guy who that's your main job is to catch the football. And no, I don't think from a legacy standpoint, I don't look at Matt Stafford the same, any worse. I mean, if anything, I think the Super Bowl would have bolstered him into, surefire first ballot Hall of Fame status. But now it's like, all right, like, hey, if he's first ballot, cool. If he's not, cool. He's still going to be a Hall of Famer. Still one hell of a quarterback. Still, I think one of the best quarterbacks of our lifetime to come through. I mean, obviously in the 2010s post. That's my take on that, Stafford.
I mean, before I get your take, Chase, I mean, look, Joseph pulled up the numbers. I mean, he played incredible. He wasn't super efficient, just 22 for 35, but 374 in through the air, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions against this level of a defense. And again, you were put behind the 8 ball based on what Miggy just said about the punt return, where again, dude, if you're losing your balance, like just get out of the way. At the very worst, let that ball bounce and it gets down inside the 5 or whatever it may be. But like, you can't attempt to even try to touch that ball or catch that ball once you've lost your balance. And I get it. It's heat of the moment. You're like, oh crap, I can't do anything else. But if it were me, I'm saying like, let me just get away. Let me cut my losses at this point. But Chase, what do you think about Matthew Stafford and his legacy and how this game affected it or not?
Yeah, I mean, I really look back. There was one play in the fourth quarter when Colby Parkinson dropped that easy 3rd and 1 pass. Dude, who knows? Like, who knows what would have happened after that drive? And they go and they're moving pretty well. They kind of got stuffed up, and then Colby Parkinson just had a layup of a catch and just dropped it. It even looked like, because the camera angle was from the backside, it looked like he was going to even have it. And then you're like, wait, it looked like he caught it. And then the balls are still on the ground. You're like, oh, great. So, poor Stafford. I think it's so tough because Stafford's going to not have the second one. And I think because it's Sam Darnold, you're like, well, you couldn't even beat Sam Darnold to get to the Super Bowl again. It's like, well, the guy also threw for 3 tutties. All right. Like, he had an awesome game. He looked really good. I will say both guys I thought looked awesome at times. I mean, as you mentioned, Stafford wasn't like the most efficient guy that day, but dang, dude, there's not much else you can do whenever you're rolling. And you got 3 touchdowns, no picks. It's like, God, it's just hurtful, man. I don't know. This was such a fun game. Yeah, what if we could just run it back one more time to call it a soupy? But oh no, this is going to be interesting because I hope Sam gets it in some ways. But man, Blake Corum had an okay down the ground. I think they could have ran a few more times. I think they had some space. Just I don't know. McVay is a great setup guy, but I will say there are some times where I question his decision making and time and like clock management. Like he frustrates the hell out of me sometimes with certain things, and you're like, why do you don't have to go for it on fourth? Like you don't have to do all these things, but he just does it. It's frustrating.
Well, that was kind of going to be my next question to you guys. And Chase, since you just mentioned it, I'll throw it back to you on this one. But in that fourth quarter, and it was kind of surprising. I just went back and I looked at the box score, and nobody scored in the fourth quarter, which to me is crazy. Like when you think about this game, you had an opportunity there late in the game. I don't exactly remember how much time was left. It might have been 3 or 4 minutes or so. And they go for it on, like a fourth and I don't even remember what the downage was. But they were close to the goal line. They throw it into Miggy, you mentioned the play specifically where they went for it on fourth down and they don't convert. You're down by 4 at that point. Part of me was thinking at that moment, like, okay, like kick a field goal here, get down by 1. You got 3-4 minutes left. Get a stop or 2, if you can. Even if they pick up 1 first down, you've still got an opportunity to stop them, get the ball back. That way you just have to get a field goal instead of a touchdown your next possession. What did you think of that decision specifically? Because you were talking about his overly aggressiveness, and it's going to kind of lead me into another question that I wanted to ask you guys about these coaches and their aggressiveness nowadays. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you. This is on Chase, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
I said Miggy. My bad. Sorry. I thought you said Miggy. I was like, what? I was like, wait, no, Miggy. I was like, what? Yeah. No, I just think that we get to see these coaches like have to go for it on fourth down. Like it's like everybody's like, well, I don't want to seem. Let's be honest. Everybody doesn't want to seem like a pussy. Like that's the big thing. It's like nobody wants to have that feeling. Like they don't want to be that guy that doesn't go for it on fourth down. It's like everybody gets this praise for it. You have to go for it. Campbell and those guys and Will, those guys were the ones that we were going to go for it every time. McVay, young gunslinger, that's what we do. Dude, just take some points. Like Sean Payton is eating himself alive that he didn't take 3 points in the Denver game. Every day he's going to be thinking about that. It's like, dude, I should just kick the field goal.
I mean, it wouldn't have guaranteed you win that game, but like you're right. I mean, it would have put you in a lot better position.
You would have went up 10 points. You would have went up 10 points before an ice storm. I don't know. Like maybe the whole aspect of Sean McVay, I get it. Like it's the allure of Sean of, hey, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna take our shots. We trust in Matt. Like I get that, but also it's like, hey, let's trust our defense too. And then with Seattle, dude, they just went on an 11-play, 4 minutes and 49-second drive, and they still punted. It's like, dang, yeah, but that was a 4th and 4. You go for it, and that was the Mr. Ferguson. It's like, dadgum, dude, dadgum. I don't know. I get why you have to be aggressive these days, but I don't understand why we went away from taking the points. Oh.
I don't think. While watching that game, I know the Rams defense is missing, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but of Raheem Morris or something. Because, and hear me out, Chris Shula's unit did not look good. It just didn't. It got ate up. And I'm telling y'all this is because Kenneth Walker looked like a mixture of Barry Sanders, Marshawn Lynch, Bijan Robinson. I mean, it was crazy. It's probably his best game I've ever seen him.
What do you mean? He had 19 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown.
But
He had
look,
3.5 yards a tote.
but look at like the beginning and the game flow. Like this guy was getting really anything he wanted. Like they were crashing that box, and Sam Darnold was having to make these throws, which he did make. But all I'm saying is that they knew that they could not stop the run, and they were selling out and selling out and selling out. My point is that they knew, hey, we need to score, or we might not get this thing back. And they bet it all on black, and they cracked out. That's just what it is. And I understand doing it because they knew that they would not get the football back. And they got the football back, but with 25 seconds left and no timeouts, which I do think Puka was out of bounds. That's neither here nor there. I do think Puka was out of bounds. I do. I think they had a second. I think they had a second. I really, when I look at that leg, and I understand, but it was simultaneous, I think they should have put a second on the clock. That's just
all right. Here's what I have to say about
what that would have put them at. That would put them like what, the 30? Well, that's a good shot.
It would have put them in like what, the 45-yard line ish.
Let's see. It would have been at the Ram.
30.
Well, it says it was 2nd and 10 at the Rams 30. That 21-yard pass would have put them at
49.
Seahawks territory. Yeah, right over midfield. That's enough for a Hail Mary.
Yeah. I don't know.
I wish.
Who could Devontae one more time?
Yeah. That'd have been nice.
Dude, I would have smashed a Colby Parkinson touchdown if that was the case.
All right, here's what I'll have to say. I have to say about the aggressiveness. Like, I think there's a time and a place for you to be aggressive. Again, like we just sort of mentioned, and we'll get there in a minute, but Sean Payton's decision, obviously not the best one. Again, context clues about, do you not know that there's a storm coming in the second half? Like, take the points. You've got a backup quarterback. Go up by 10. He's feeling himself. He's got some confidence. You put him in a position to lose that confidence by incompleting a pass. And then obviously, soon thereafter, he fumbles, and then they get short field. They score the touchdown. Again, Sean McVay, put him down by 1 point. You make a stop or two. Okay, cool. We get the football back. We only need a field goal now instead of a touchdown, and maybe we have more time left or whatever it may be. But there's also some time where it's important to be selectively aggressive. And what I mean by that is you look at what Seattle did on their drive after the Rams got stopped on 4th down. Miggy mentioned it. There was some running. They ran a little bit, but then it was a 15-yard pass by Sam Darnold to Kenneth Walker. You mentioned him. And then it was a 3-yard run. Then it was an incompletion. Okay, now we're at 3rd and 7. Bam, 7-yard pass to Cooper Kupp, burns his old team, gets the first down. And then a 15-yard pass to JSN, another huge first down. Like, they, instead of just handing the ball off 3 times and saying, all right, we trust our defense, we're just going to try to get the clock going or whatever, they decided to be a little bit more aggressive in order to go win that game. You look at Kirk Cignetti. I just kind of gave him all the flowers in the world last week when we were talking about the national championship game. His decision to go for it on 4th down with Fernando Mendoza paid off in a big way. Again, there's a time and a place to be aggressive. And I think coaches really just need to have a better feel for it. And look, it's not always going to work out, but you have to have a little bit better of a feel and a sense for how the game is going. And in Sean Payton's case, how the game may end up going. Because to me, it's almost insane. I didn't listen to him after the game, so I'm sure he talked about it or whatever, but I just don't know how you don't know or don't factor into that early decision that, hey, we may be getting some weather later in the day. You and I, all of us are normal people, and we are always checking the weather and trying to figure out, okay, what's going to happen, later in the day or what to expect so we can kind of prepare for it. And the fact that Sean Payton didn't prepare for that moment or let that fact slip his mind and get too aggressive, again, with a backup quarterback in a situation where you're already up 7-0 to put yourself up 2 scores. See, to me, that one just didn't really make much sense. Like there wasn't a whole lot to gain by going for that. I get it, the touchdown, the 6 points versus the 3, but you could have easily picked up that first down and then got stalled and said, okay, well, now we'll kick the field goal. Okay, well, you get those 3 points anyway. So just take them initially and you're up 10-0. That game was kind of boring, obviously, because there's not a whole lot of scoring. And then the snow happened. And you could just tell once the Patriots got the lead, Vrabes was like, all right, like McDaniel, we're just going to be super conservative with it because they can't move the football on it. Drew said it in the group chat, like anybody would have trouble kind of completing passes and making plays. And the only reason the Broncos were able to get themselves in position was because a punt condition was tough for the Patriots. And then they moved the ball a little bit, got it in Lutz's field goal range. And then again, a great special teams play, which we'd normally see out of the Patriots, to get a finger on that kick probably would have been good, but who knows? So it's just the selective aggressiveness. Miggy, talk to me about the AFC Championship game and really what stood out to you about that one. Aside from the decision to try to like hold on to the football a little bit too long a couple of times and that fumble that Stidham had, I don't think he played terrible based on the circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, initially what stood out to me was how much I missed Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes battling out in the AFC Championship. Didn't realize how spoiled we were, fellas. Man, this was a snoozer. No, but I thought Jarrett Stidham did what he was meant to do. I saw a tweet that said Jarrett Stidham was 8 passes away from commanding $25 million a year from the New York Jets. Like, for sure. Like, he albeit he did not win the football game, it was not his fault that they lost. I think you hit it on the head earlier, G, is that straight up, this was all coaching by Sean Payton. If Sean takes the field goal, which he should have, there was really not a need to go for it on 4th down. Like, I guess with Coach McVay and the Rams, there was a need, but with this, it just didn't feel right. It was almost like greed and not strategy. So I'm thinking, okay, like, this is a coaching blunder. I thought they ran the football extremely effective with R.J. Harvey. I thought defensively there was some great interior pressure that got to Drake May and your boy Pat Surtain and company. They held Drake May under 100 yards passing. He almost had more rushing yards than he did passing yards. But I just think it was a tweet that I saw from J.J. Watt that just said that, and Chase, you're going to hate this, but Vrabes is the most situational aware coach in the NFL. And it's honestly egregious that other coaches that have the same kind of access to these resources aren't as situationally aware. And it makes you look inward at your coach. It's like, yo, is my coach stupid or is Vrabel just really, really good? And I think it's Vrabel's really good. And that was the difference. And last point is individual effort. And I think that if you guys notice, that counter play that was on 3rd down to ice the game for Drake May was supposed to be a design run play. It came out that Drake pulled that ball and ran straight to the 1st down marker.
Called his own number, baby.
Called his own number
right, baby.
In the snow and punched a ticket for the resurgence of a dynasty that was 3-14 last year and now 14-3. Going to the Super Bowl, man. I love it for him. Love it for my man Stephon Diggs finally getting over the hump, and it's going to be a good one.
You the wide receivers that make it. Stephon Diggs, baby. He's going to do it.
My boy, man. It's he's had a lot of heartbreak, man. I mean, he's Minnesota Conference Championship lost, Buffalo Conference Championship, the meme lost. And now for him to be in New England, and he's gone through a lot of personal issues, albeit self-inflicted. But he will be in a Super Bowl for the first time in his really, really good career. So
yeah, we've got the Patriots and we've got the Seahawks heading to the Super Bowl. Excited about that. We'll touch on that matchup next week. As you guys are in Chattanooga trying to get our brand new studio put together.
Oh, yeah.
God, I can't wait for
little ways to go.
Yeah, a little ways to go. So we will not, I guess we'll tell the people, we will not have a show on Friday this week. It's going to be kind of a mini bye week for us the week before the Super Bowl. And then next week, we'll kind of dive deeper into that game and whatever else is going on in the National Football League. Something else just quickly to throw at you guys, and there's a couple more things to touch on in the National Football League before we try to see if we can fix college football. I know a lot of people have talked about how to fix college football, but there's a lot of things about it that are very broken right now. But two things I wanted to touch on. First, the Pittsburgh Steelers have found a new head coach, and it's Mike McCarthy, a Pittsburgh guy. This has got to be kind of a cool opportunity for him. Grew up in the Pittsburgh area, getting a chance to coach his hometown team, and maybe gets a chance to run it back, Chase, with his Super Bowl winning quarterback and Aaron Rodgers. Like, what do you think the chances are that A-Rod wants to come back and play now with the Steelers? Because a big reason why he went to the Steelers in the first case was to play for another Mike Tomlin, who he beat when he was with Mike McCarthy in the Super Bowl back in the day with the Green Bay Packers, and now they're reunited potentially in Pittsburgh. What do you think about the potential reunion? Do you think this will entice Rodgers to stay, or do you think this actually has the adverse effect that makes him want to go more?
Feel like if he was going to play, this is the best chance now, because he'd like to play for Mike. I mean, it's like, well, at least it's familiar. This is a decent team, decent at best. You're going to have to make some changes for you to be good. But for Aaron, it's like, where else are you going to go, man? Like, the only option that I really see for him would be somewhere like Minnesota. That's, I don't know where else he would go that has a chance to win, that has a quarterback need. Pittsburgh's not bad if you do want to keep playing. And familiarity is nice. But I heard a really funny one today. I don't know if this is true, but it's like, the Steelers head coaching job right now, like change from Mike to Mike, was like if you crapped your pants, then you changed your shirt. That's basically what you got in this coaching switch. So I thought that was funny. I was like, I mean, are they the same guy? No, but is there a similarity in the fact that, a guy that's going to not get you very far in the playoffs, pretty good at getting you there, good continuity, good team guy. Also, the fact that he's a Yinzer just kind of works out. So if Aaron's going to stay and play, I think that's the right move. Just go ahead and try it out for Pittsburgh. Maybe they can make a few small moves. You're not that far away, because obviously you can win the division. So you never know, but you're going to have to make some changes.
Malcolm?
Brother, I think you went from Canes to Zaxby's. I mean, straight up. I think you just went like.
I mean, one's much better than the other.
No, it's the same thing. I mean, it really is. It's chicken, fries, and ketchup and mayo and ranch put together.
Toast.
And some toast and some coleslaw.
Yeah, so they put a little paprika in it. Fine dining, dog.
Like, it's like, oh wow, let me throw a little dash in it. Like, it's the same thing. I mean, cool. It's Mike McCarthy. You're gonna win some ball games. You're gonna be competitive, but like, we know what this guy is. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I think I'm just kissing the game goodbye. Like, I don't have anything else to prove. I don't think anybody, if I were to win a Super Bowl in Pittsburgh next year, nobody would look at me any differently. Nobody. Maybe you, Greg. Maybe you would be like, that's amazing. But the general sports world thinks Aaron Rodgers is already historically great. Already a first ballot Hall of Famer. Already one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it. It's almost like LeBron winning a 5th championship. It's like, you know what? People are not going to like you regardless. You're never going to be MJ. Well, this guy's never going to be Tom Brady. But he's close. And that's okay.
I understand what you're saying with the multiple championships and things like that. It won't change his legacy that much. He's not Dan Marino, where Marino got to 1, lost it, and never got back. Aaron's got to 1 and he won it. And he was the MVP. He was a 4-time league MVP. So you're right. Like, what's one more championship going to do? I think if anything, it'll bolster his resume like that much to win another Super Bowl. Like, obviously, it would be like an incredible thing to like be able to do that at an advanced age, like Tom Brady did. But again, you're never going to be the winning type of quarterback like Tom Brady. He was more athletic, better throw of the football than Tom Brady. But not as much of a winner. And I know there's a lot of different factors that have to do with that, but I hope he comes back for another year. It would be cool to see him play with Mike McCarthy. But you're right, Malcolm. At the end of the day, like it just comes down to how much he actually wants to go through the process of playing another season and get banged up at the age of 42, 43, whatever he's going to be. I would love it because I want as much Aaron Rodgers as we can, because I am really afraid that like once he actually hangs it up, like we just won't see Aaron Rodgers until like he's 55 and just comes out of the woods somewhere of darkness, and he'll have 4 jungle kids with some sort of mystery wife that we don't know about. Is it Jane? Is he Tarzan? I don't know.
It could be. It could happen. Like he just moves to Peru and
that's what I'm saying. He's going to go live in a pyramid somewhere. I mean, who knows?
That's got his afterlife, after football life, I should say, is going to be very interesting.
Geez.
No, his after football life is going to be so interesting.
No doubt.
But we'll never know about it. That's the best part. Is like you just won't know. I don't feel like he's the type that's going to start a blog, So
imagine after his after football life, he does just disappear, and then when he's like 80 years old, publishes a book that gives us the entire story of what he did in his after football life.
You would definitely do that.
That would be
right.
Be weird.
Like just on the way out, just bam. Here's what I've been doing for the last 40 years.
Yeah. That'd be a good way to go. Because, I mean, this guy, he has so much money. Like, to be kind of a weird guy and a little bit of woo-woo stuff going on, to have that kind of money, you could go travel. You're going to go to some awesome and odd places. And he will. He's going to go try and experiment and have fun. And, yeah, I guess he has the mysterious wife that nobody knows about. Yeah, it's going to be so interesting to see what happens to him afterwards. And then I could also see him coming back, like you mentioned, like he just pops back up at 55, 56. He's like, I want to do media, and he's going to be awesome at it.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he continues to do that. I know he talks about how you won't hear from me for a while after I hang it up, but I hope he does like have like a regular spot on the Pat McAfee show, like, Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays still or something like that. Or I don't know if I ever see him on like a mainstream network like Tom is doing, like Tony Romo or Drew Brees or Matt Ryan is doing, but I would love to see him on like a radio style show or something along those lines where you can just have a real honest conversation. You can use the language that you want to use, and you can tell the stories that you want to tell. And Pat's great. Obviously, he knows him real well, and AJ's on there, and you can kind of get into a lot of different things. But let's go from one quarterback to another. And on Monday, the news came out, not that anybody really at this point cares about the Pro Bowl, because who really watches or pays attention to the Pro Bowl games at this point. But this news caught my attention specifically. The fact that you've got Drake May in the Super Bowl now, which means he's not going to be a Pro Bowl player or participant this time around, which, again, he's completely fine with. Well worth it. Obviously, he deserves to be a Pro Bowl level player. But who they got to replace him makes me think that they asked everybody else and nobody wanted to be a part of it. Nobody wanted to go. And so they were stuck asking Shedeur Sanders, who had about 1,400 yards passing this year, 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, and was 3-4 in his 7 games that he started. Miggy, how in the hell is Shedeur Sanders a Pro Bowler?
Yes, sir. Shout out Shedeur. This is for us, number 2, baby. They told me bust out my.
I'm about to take you off the screen, dog.
Don't mute me, man. Okay. Sorry, I'm sorry. Oh man.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be really honest with you. As the biggest Shedeur Sanders stan, this is just an atrocity. I mean, this is awful, bro. This is really bad. Like we don't need to have the Pro Bowl anymore. Like, I think it just needs to be like Pro Bowl honors and just go away from the game, because this is worse than like Snoop Huntley. Like, this is worse. Like, this is bad. And I get it. just make it a fan contest and a vote. Don't make it serious. Don't make it a flag football game. Save all the resources. Like this is done. In all seriousness, like I know I troll. I love Shador. He is not deserving to be called a Pro Bowler, and I'll just be honest with you.
And he said that on Monday as well. Like he came out and was like, yeah, I mean, I don't deserve to be a Pro Bowler. At least he was humble enough to be honest about it.
Yeah, like he knows. Like there was a lot of he had one magical game, ironically, against Chase's Tennessee Titans where he looked out otherworldly. But yeah, he did not deserve to be a Pro Bowler. So we got to get away from this game now.
It is kind of crazy to me that Justin Herbert is also the other quarterback that is a Pro Bowler this year as well.
Y'all know how I feel about Herbo, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think he has the ability to be good, Chase, but like I just don't think he deserves to be a Pro Bowler. And like we're gonna take this stuff at the end of these guys' career. We're gonna be like, oh, he was a time Pro Bowler. Like I can't sit here and say like Shador was, whatever time Pro Bowler. Like how in 2025 he made a Pro Bowl with these stats. You could have picked so many other people. I would have taken Lamar Jackson to be a Pro Bowler with as much time as he missed over Shador.
I'll be honest. I mean, I think Cam Ward might have gotten it over.
Yes. I'd have taken Cam Ward. I'd have taken Tua Tagovailoa. I would have taken just about anybody in the AFC except the Jets quarterback. I'd have taken Daniel Jones.
All right, let's compare.
Or Geno Smith, not Geno Smith. But I mean, even Geno played more.
All right, so Shador has a 56.6% completion percentage. He is averaging 6.6 yards a throw. Okay. The yardage is a little different, but I'm trying to get averages here. Let's even go with my boy Cam Ward. Cam Ward has a 59.8% passer rating and a 5.9 average per yard. So not great either. But you're telling me, like, golly, Bob. I mean, at least Geno, Tua, they're all like in the high 60s for completion percentage. I mean, honestly, Joe Flacco, not bad comparatively. Bengals Joe Flacco had a couple of decent games. So you're like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. This is interesting. I would have given it to Daniel Jones.
I mean, his Achilles don't work, brother. We need somebody who can get out there.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Like, do we need 3 quarterbacks? Like, just give it to somebody who's more deserving, even if they can't go. Like, I don't know. It's just the fact. Like, you're right, Miggy. Like, it's an abomination. Like, this is like the last straw for me with the Pro Bowl. It's not good.
So bad. It's gotten so bad.
Me and my dad went to the last contact Pro Bowl. And
contact Pro Bowl. Like
yeah.
It was barely contact.
Yeah. The rules changed a year after. And I was like, wow, I'm a part of history. Because, it needs to go away. Just make it honors. Make it like a check thing. Hey, you get $100,000 if you're named a Pro Bowler. Congratulations. If you got to do it. It's like an incentive.
Make it some like fun social media thing the teams do. I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah,
a jersey patch for next season. I mean, I don't know.
You're delaying these guys' vacations. Like they're like, I don't want to go to Orlando.
Yeah, bro.
This week.
At least when it was in Hawaii, like it's a cool spot. It's unique. Like, oh, cool. We could take the family. Like this is cool. But then since they moved it out of Hawaii, it's like, well, like what are we doing? It's like you said, Chase. It's in Orlando. You've recently spent time in Orlando. Like it's not that special.
No, sure isn't, buddy. Sure is not.
Well, you know what also is not very special, or maybe it is special nowadays, is the mystical, magical transfer portal and NIL in college football. There was a story that happened, over the last week or so. Luke Farrelly, you're probably familiar with the name at this point. He is the linebacker from California, had an outstanding year last year. Decided, hey, I want to see if I can make some money on the open market now in college athletics, because that's what it is nowadays. It's the open market. It's basically free agency, right? As long as your name's in the portal, hey, you just go and you can see how much money you can get if you're good enough to be able to do that. So Ferrelli had a really good season at Cal, decides to kind of put himself out there, and who comes a knocking? A guy that doesn't generally use the portal, Dabo Swinney of Clemson. He throws him, 800,000, whatever it was, and decides, oh, amazing. This is more money than I was seeing at Cal. Clemson's a better program than Cal. Like, I want to go to Clemson. Dabo doesn't generally use the portal. Let me see if I can help their defense restore to sort of championship glory. He goes there. He enrolls. He's in classes. He's doing workouts with the team. Like, he's in the weight room. He's getting accustomed to being there, getting used to the team. And then Pete Golding of Ole Miss comes a knocking and says, hey, like, I see that cute 500,000 to 800,000. Like, I can offer you $1 million. And Ferrelli, does the right thing, says, hey, look, Dabo and company, like, Pete Golding is texting me and he's trying to get me to leave Clemson and come to Ole Miss, but I'm not doing that. And instead of, I heard allegedly that Clemson staff sort of confronted the Ole Miss staff, and instead of backing down, they doubled the offer to a couple mil, and then Ferrelli ghosts everybody at Clemson, decides to, put himself back into the transfer portal, and all of a sudden he's got a couple $1 million and he's now at Ole Miss. So Chase, Joseph, Miggy, like, you guys take this because you're more college football guys than I am. Give me your take on this whole Ferrelli situation. And do you all have any potential situations or suggestions on how we can fix this completely flawed and broken system at this point of college athletics? Because this stuff just can't keep happening. It's literally the wild, wild west out there.
We got, once you sign the contract, it's over. Like, it has to be just like the NFL. Like,
it's real
once
life.
you sign the contract, it's there's got to be some version of, if you back out, because it's going to be a disaster at some point. If you back out, you either have to pay a settlement price ASAP. Like, it has to be whatever money you got obviously comes back, but also there has to be, like how they try to do with the Georgia guy, you got to try to pay back a chunk of it or something. There has to be a breach of contract. It's going to have to be a year-long settlement. You have to make this hard as possible. Make your choice. I know these windows are small, but it's the transfer portal. You don't have to be signed to a team, once you enter. Like, go enter, and then you have time to go evaluate teams after that. Like, you don't have to sign as soon as the transfer portal closes. Like, that just means you have to enter in that amount of time. You don't have to sign during that amount of time, which everybody feels this pressure. It's like, we got to do this now. We are going to have Congress take over, I guess, because the NCAA sucks at this. So we'll talk more about the college basketball situation too. This is way worse than I ever thought it could be, and especially this fast amount of time. I thought we'd have either regulations in place by now. It's just getting worse. I don't know. Like, it's Godspeed out there, coaches. It sucks, dude. I'm glad we're down to one transfer portal window, but until we get the legislation figured out with signing contracts and financials, this is going to be so. Meg?
Student athlete. Student athlete. This is awful. I'm going to keep my words short, but I miss whenever a kid from high school put 3 hats on a table, picked a hat, and stuck with one school for 3 to 4 years, graduated, and turned pro. I'm all for kids getting paid, but kids were supposed to be paid so they wouldn't commit felonies and sell drugs to get through college and be able to send mama home something nice on the rent. It wasn't to get a G wagon at 19. Man. It wasn't for this. And I understand that the NCAA is a business and restitution is in order for what they've done for Reggie Bush and for all these athletes that should have got paid, Johnny Manziel, so on and so forth. But the system's broken, and there needs to be a place to fix it. And I don't know whether you put funds in a trust that you're only enabled to get when you graduate or you turn pro, but this is This has got to stop.
Joseph, do you have any thoughts, producer Joseph? Do you want to chime
You
in?
pull me off the desk for this, dog.
Come on,
Mhm.
You pull me off the desk for this rant, man.
we need to see you.
Yeah, you guys hit the nail on the head there. I'm going to be honest. I think until you get to a point where I don't know if going after the kids, like the whole Damon Wilson Georgia situation, I don't know if that's your avenue where it's like, hey, we want you to pay back the money. I think you need to get to an area where if you move to another school, that comes like the back pay, the transfer fee. Let's call it a transfer fee.
There
You know, because they have transfer fees in the Premier League. You got to pay, like, hey, you want this player out of their contract, you got to pay a transfer fee. Let's just implement that. Let's get transfer fees. Your collective, your rev share, you got to pay however much they were going to pay on top of what you're going to pay this player, so they at least get their investment back. Like, imagine you're Ole Miss and you approach this linebacker and you're like, hey, we're going to give you $1.3 million. And then there's this overarching body that's like, hey, you can give him $1.3 million, but you got to give Clemson the $500K they were going to give him. Clemson's got to get their money back, or they've got to have a transfer fee. That's what you got to pay for this guy. So now that 1.3 becomes 1.8, that 2 becomes 2.5, whatever that percentage is. But until we get some kind of unified enforcement body that's not the NCAA, because, brother, that's as good as putting a badge on your nephew and asking him to go around and arrest people. Like, that's just not – nobody's actually scared of you. You're not going to do anything. Until you get to a point where you have a unified body that can not only write laws but enforce them, and I mean actually enforce them. No one cares that you took wins from somebody. No one cares that Michigan didn't win a national championship. I know they didn't actually take that win, but no one cares. We all saw it. We all watched it. Michigan won a national championship. No one cares that Ohio State had wins taken from them. That's felt like the most ridiculous punishment for a college football team since the moment they were like, yeah, we're going to pull wins from you. It's like, okay, well, I still remember watching every game from that season. I still remember the feeling. Like, you can't take that away from me. So you got to hit these teams where it hurts. And the moment you impact their ability to build a roster because of fund allocation, that's when you'll really start to see people play by rules. Until you get to that point, in my opinion, it's going to stay the Wild West. It's going to be, hey, I was going here. I got more money to go here. I'm going there. I mean, technically, I guess this kid was in the transfer portal. He committed. He showed up. His name's technically still in the transfer portal, so he can move again. But, yeah, ultimately, I don't think you're going to get any real progress or any real ground moved until you start hitting teams in their ability to build a roster. And when you start hitting them in their funds. I think that's your most surefire way. And now how you get there – that's the question we're all asking, right? That's the avenue we all want to take, is how do you get to this point? I don't know, but I think if you implement some kind of transfer fee and you have a governing body that can enforce it, then you'll see kids go where they actually, I don't know, wanted to go, or where they committed to the first time. Or you'll see schools take the risk on players and pay transfer fees.
Does it almost feel like the NCAA at this point, they have been so drug through the mud on them being sticklers for the rules and everything else before they allowed NIL? It almost feels like they're just kind of like throwing up the bird to everybody and just being like, well, y'all wanted this, so go ahead and enjoy it now. We're not going to have any rules and regulations because when we tried to have rules and regulations, you said it was too much. Now we're just going to give you free reign and you can go do whatever you want with it. It almost feels like that way to me with the NCAA.
I agree. Yeah. I think it almost feels like the NCAA was like, hey, y'all criticized us for so long about this and doing this and doing this. You know what? Now we're just not going to do anything.
Yeah.
And it's a mix of that and to the point where their power was stripped. So it's not that necessarily they don't want to do anything, but they just can't. They have no enforcement.
Yeah. And they're getting sued left and right from these athletes about trying to get extra years. And, you know, I know Pavia got one and Chambliss is trying to get one. He'll probably get it. Like,
Probably.
It's crazy. And I heard Chambliss even called this linebacker to try to get him to come to Ole Miss too. So, I mean, there's just all this stuff. Chase, you want to talk about Nate Oates and the college basketball situation as well. Talk to me a little bit more about that and how you think that kind of all pertains to what we're seeing in the football world.
Yeah, college basketball feels actually worse. It's just not on a big a stage. We have right now, I believe we have 5 players that have played G League in the last year, physical year. So James Najee was one that Baylor that he just signed. I mean, they're not doing very good, so it doesn't really matter. But the fact that Bediako got to play one game, like this is my favorite part. And Nate Oates, I'm going to give him a huge shout out here for being the scummiest head coach of all time. There are 2 instances. I heard a great, it was a quote tweet for today from Brandon Walker was talking about. He gave some guy, I can't remember who it was. He was like, hey, there are 2 times that I've ever thought in my mind, man, should this guy really be playing? And it was the time that Nate Oates allowed a player who was at minimum a part of a murder case at the time. And then this week, a donor who's also a judge happens to sign a restraining order. So this G League player who was playing last month can play one game for Alabama after not playing for 3 years at Alabama. He played 3 years ago at Alabama, then played the G League for 3 years, and now plays in one game against Tennessee. Now they lost, which was the best part, which is wonderful about college basketball is we make this huge ordeal. We are just doing like sitcom level things to get these players and to have all these crazy loopholes like Najee, Bediako. Like these guys played. But the shining light is, hey, guess what? Those freshmen that you signed, there were 3 freshmen, 2 of them against top 15 or top 20 matchups this week that had 40-plus points. Nate Amick goes down there and beats Bediako in that group, almost dropping 30. Caleb Wilson goes on the road, beats Virginia. This is the best freshman class we maybe have ever had. Ever. And it's also during the dumbest time in all of NCAA, the fact that we can sign in season. Like, Bediako wasn't playing all year. We just signed him throughout the week for Alabama. Now, and Nate Oates is continuing to be like, well, we're playing against them every week. Dude, I kind of get that, but I also am just to the point of like, man, these cats, like a legit donor who's a judge, whose wife was also involved in the Brady murder case, who is also just happens to sign a little restraining order for the weekend so he can play in one game before his hearing on Tuesday. This is wild stuff. This is like movie crap, like that on the movie Blue Chips. Like this doesn't happen. And then it actually does every single week in college basketball. These guys are transferring like 15 times. Yeah, I'm happy for Vandy, like to get the story to, you're having a good year, but they also have a guy that's played 7 years and for 5 teams. What are we doing? What are we doing? Until we just have a moral high ground to be like, hey, we don't need you if you're 25, 26. I understand there's some stories out there, like you've had multiple injuries, some things happen. Sure, maybe every once in a while, but when we have multiple 25 and 26-year-olds playing basketball that come back, if you've ever played in the pros and you're older than 18, never again. You cut them. It just can't happen. Like those European players, I don't mind them coming over here if you're like 17, you played in pro leagues because it's just a different culture. But if you're like older than 18, you played in a pro league, can't play in college basketball. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. If you played college basketball and left and come back and played in the pros, you can't do it again. It's just wild to me. Wild, fellas. And I'll never understand it. And it just goes to show you that people do anything for a W. And I get it. We're fighting for our families. We're trying to keep them fed. You're living a great life. But dang, dude, it's getting scummy out there, boys. Scummy.
Miggy, any thoughts on that?
No, zero. I'm not following up on that. Are you kidding me?
If you're 25,
Joseph, anything to add?
get a job, dog.
I mean, there's
Get a
there's
job.
what kind of job are you going to be able to get millions, hundreds of thousands, or millions of dollars?
None.
That's exactly. So you
None.
can't blame the kids.
No, I'm not blaming the kids. I'm blaming the
No.
apparatus.
Yes,
I'm not blaming. It's not about the kids. It's the apparatus.
It's a good time to
But
be
get a job.
a high-level college athlete at this point.
Yeah. And just have some enforcement. These are not crazy rules that we're trying to imply here. Like, that's the funny thing. It's like, it's just common sense. But you know what? Sometimes common sense ain't so common.
Ain't that the truth? Anyways, thank you, Joseph, for popping in. It's always good to see your face. If you'd like to stick around and play birthdays with us to finish off, you're more than welcome to.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Come on, Miggy. What do we got? What do we got today or this week? Whose birthdays are we thinking about?
We got a family 4-pack for you guys. This is a comedian that turned 68 years old yesterday, and is the host of this popular talk show that is self-entitled. All right, she has had roles in films such as Mr. Wrong, The Love Letter, and was one of the biggest voices in this child's movie about fish.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen DeGeneres. That is correct.
She's almost 70.
She is 68 years
Great
old
pull.
today. Happy birthday
Holy
to
cow.
Ellen.
Happy birthday, Ellen.
All right. This guy is known as the Great One. He is turned 65 today and is
Wayne
known.
Gretzky,
Yeah, that's a pull. Yeah, Wayne Gretzky.
the
turned
great one.
65.
Obviously.
Yeah. I don't think people would know this. All right, there is a person on this call that if you don't get this, I'm going to be really, really kind of shocked. This is an 8-time All-Star. He's a guard. He was a Rookie of the Year. He was a member of this Eastern Conference team. And he is just one of the best dunkers of all time.
How old is he turning?
He is turning 49.
49.
He has played on somebody on this podcast, both of their favorite basketball teams.
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter. I was like trying not to give it up. But yeah, Vince Carter, man.
I was like, wait. I was thinking it the whole time because when you said the best dunker, I was like, was he an all-star 8 times?
Yeah. Vince
Yeah,
Carter.
that's huge. Yeah.
Vince Carter. And there is one more that I had, but I can't find it. So hold on. There's one more.
You got it, mate. We believe in you.
Thank
Anything we got later on the week?
Yeah, I do. He's considered by most to be a child prodigy and a musical genius. He defined the classical era with over 600 works. And to me, he is one of the best just overall composers of all time. It would be his birthday.
Beethoven?
Close.
Mozart?
It is Mozart. That is correct. That is correct.
What old's he turning today?
He is turning like 200 something. I can't do that fast. Yeah, man. Those are the birthdays. And then we have one special one on January 28th. He is one of the biggest rappers in all of hip hop. He is dropping his last album in just a couple of days. And he is known in what I'd call the big 3 conversation. He's had songs such as Wet Dreams, songs such as Friday Night Lights. He is technically from Fayetteville, North Carolina. He is best friends with Drake.
This is where we need GT.
He went to St. John's University.
How old is he turning?
He is turning 40.
40.
40.
Yeah.
One of the biggest rappers in the planet. You guys have each heard a song from him.
Jay-Z's not
yeah.
40. He's older than 40.
Best friends with Drake?
Yeah, he's very, very good friends with Drake. Dreamville is the name of his.
Oh, is it J. Cole?
It is J. Cole.
J. Cole.
Oh, God.
J.
I thought
Cole is
you were-
turning 40.
Damn.
Yep.
Golly, dude.
That is our birthday.
Getting old.
How-
birthday,
how-
sorry.
How old is Forest Hills Drive?
It will be 12 this year. There's actually another rapper that has the
There's
same
no
birthday
way.
as J. Cole. He is the boss.
Rick Ross?
Yeah. It's Rick Ross.
Ross, baby.
Yeah.
Ross
All right,
Boss.
that's really it. I promise.
The birthdays. Man, we haven't
That was
played
a good
birthdays
birthday.
in a while. That was a good birthdays.
Nice that.
Happy birthday, guys.
Yeah, happy birthday to all the people that got birthdays that we mentioned, and even those of you who we didn't mention. If you're listening right now and it's your birthday this week, happy birthday. But we appreciate you listening and watching all the good things. Follow us all over social media at Chat It Up Sports, anywhere you get your podcasts as well. For Malcolm Harris, for Joseph Guthrie, for making us look good, sound good, and keeping us on track today. And my man Chase Green right below me, Treen, CG, the Thick Boy Running Club, the whole thing, the best dad in the world. I am Greg Larnard. We will see you next week as we get the studio ready and prepared. We love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Thanks for listening. Please share with a friend, family member, and we will talk to you next week. Peace and love.